I'm a negative person.
Yeah, and it was called a demonstration scene, basically. In the scene, we're protesting something. Trying to get you in like that. Do you want to be an actor? Do you see yourself in front of the light?
Like a little bit of sprinkle of post-Soviet Union. Not a little bit, like a lot of sprinkle. Okay.
And then there was moments where she would like undermine my talent.
And I say it. I feel like I say it every episode.
Yeah.
As you can see, I am here today by myself, freaking out, need to turn off my phone, freaking out because I'm without Caitlin. So I am like, absolutely. I mean, you don't have to. My phone just keeps ringing at like random times, which I hate. Caitlin, so that's why I'm sitting in her seat right now, because she's not here. And yes. And so if I behave weirdly, forgive me. I'm just not used to being without her.
Yeah.
And I would want to ask you to, if you could introduce yourself, please, to everybody.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Sadi. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I'm a Congolese American, first generation.
That's so nice. So you mean your parents moved here?
Yeah, basically.
And but you were born here?
I was born here.
Nice.
Paperwork, they wanted to make paperwork easy.
Understandable. Do you ever go back?
It's been a minute since I went back. I want to go back though. Like I went to France to visit family because I have my aunt Mimi and my and a few of my siblings live out there with their mom. But I haven't been back to Congo in a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So wait, is your whole family somewhere outside of the U.S.?
Yeah.
Everybody?
Everybody, pretty much everybody.
Really?
The only one that's in the U.S. for me is my older sister, her family, my great aunt, my great uncle, and my other aunt who's up in Connecticut. That's pretty much it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you miss your family a lot? I mean,
I feel like my family dynamic could be a lot better in terms of you know.
Do they ever come here?
Not really. It's rare that family ever comes here. Like I had an aunt tell me she was here, but she was in Texas. I'm like, okay, interesting. Have fun in Texas.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's very nice. Can you also talk a little bit? What do you do? Like acting, profession-wise?
I'm an actor, writer, director, rapper, singer-songwriter, amongst other things, you know. Whatever pays the bills.
Whatever. That's very nice. Yeah. And you recently had a play, right?
Yes, I had a play. I was in the Voices Inside Festival. And basically it's a collection of scenes written by inmates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so my scene was called Odds. It basically involves these three inmates who are gambling. And like they gamble for fun to pass through time. And one of the inmates, Thomas, he keeps track of everything, the bets between me and my other character in there, Nelson. I play Spencer. Spencer's more impulsive and everything. So long story short is I make a wager that involves Thomas, because Thomas is usually the one recording things. Because I'm tired of being the one losing. Yeah. Because Thomas kind of helps Nelson. So in the end, long story short, but really long, Thomas really, once Thomas like joins the bet, he gives me the book, and come to find out that it's a suicide poem in the book.
Oh no.
Yeah, he basically plans to kill himself at the end. So, spoiler alert.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Can I ask you, how did you book it?
All right, so this is my second time doing it with them, because I did it the first time around, and that was through a teacher. A teacher recommended me.
Wow.
Yeah, a teacher recommended me, because she was one of the directors, so yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Connections, people networking.
Connections, literally.
Yeah, that works.
Your teacher, you know, if you got a teacher you're cool with, man, and they like your talent, and you're on time to their class, and you do the work, it'll pay off. The work always pays off. Hard work always pays off.
Yes.
Crossing fingers.
Yes.
Crossing fingers.
And like me jumping in, I understand you have a story. I wanted to say for us, Caitlin.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
Yes. Would you
Yeah, sure.
like to share?
I'd like to share. All right, so my acting journey started at the Lola Louise Creative and Performing Arts Studio in the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
In the Bronx. My mentor, Lola Louise, she had a program that she created. And I got into acting based on a pure accident. I was dropping off payment because my niece was taking ballet, tap, and acting there. So I was dropping off payment for my older sister. And when I dropped off the payment, my mentor, Miss Louise, she looked at me and she was like, okay, she asked my sister about me if I'm interested in acting.
Wow,
So,
just by looking at you.
Yeah,
so
basically. And I was technically interested in it, but I never knew how to get into it.
Damn, it's like everybody's dream to be somewhere and they're like, do you want to be an actor? And then they get you in.
Yeah, they get you in, they get you in like that. Do you want to be an actor? Do you see yourself in front of the lights? Yeah.
Damn, so, okay, continue.
Yeah, so, you know, I was like, yeah, so it first started out with me reading basically a scene from a play she wrote called The Children's Legacy. And it was called a demonstration scene, basically. In the scene we're protesting something.
Damn, like an audition, or she just...
You know, just for me to read and stuff like that. I was already in, you know, because she,
got it. You were already in, so it's okay.
She just wanted to get a gist of me. So I read it, I loved it, because it was something real, I loved it. And once I got in, she was the type of person that wanted you to be triple threat. So once I got in, I was thrown into dance, I was thrown into singing, but not singing classes, but I was singing, because she threw me into musical theater, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just came for acting, but she threw me in there. So I was doing ballet and tap. I did tap for 2 years and ballet for 2 years. Don't ask me to do anything. I'm you know.
You're like, that's it. That's
that was
in
like
the
a
past.
long time ago, you know.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Okay, so you were doing all of this. Okay, and all of this was in the studio with your mentor.
Yes, and the studio was like it was a living room.
It was a living room.
Because her original space got flooded. Her original space got flooded, so she's such a creative. She's like, okay, I'm going to flip my living room into a space where I could teach piano, because she taught piano, singing, ballet, and she had like, you know, dancers come to teach dance, like ballet, tap, and modern. So basically, yeah, all of this was in the living room. My journey started in the living room.
Your journey started in the living room?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That sounds great. And like, is your mentor still with you? Does she still help you?
Nah, she passed away. Yeah, she passed away from cancer.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, she, you know, it was talked about and everything and stuff like that. Her health was declining, but you know, but she's in a better place. You know, she lived a long life. She did a lot of things. She taught a lot of things, and I, you know, continue to keep my career strong, focused, you know, and honor her name, because she also made sacrifices for me. You know.
I love it. So would you say that everything that you're doing right now in your creative path, you're thinking of her and how to honor what she gave you?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel like we all have this one teacher that, it can be actually applied to anything, I feel like. But we all have this one teacher who is our mentor and who gave us like the first push, and we still think about this person as like, I'm gonna mention this person's name when I become big, you know?
Yeah, always.
Like this person believed in me.
Always.
When I was a nobody.
Well, yeah, basically, yeah. And she studied under Stella Adler when Stella was alive. So she used to tell us stories about Stella, like how, like, if you would come late, she would just like, basically, like out you, basically, because it was a lot more intense back then. The teachers were a lot more, like you're really serious about like tardiness and everything.
Yeah.
So she used to tell us stories, and the funny thing is, like learning under her, I'd be afraid not to memorize something. Like me and like the rest of my members, because she had a youth acting group, we would talk about like, oh, did you memorize a scene? We had a scene to memorize. Like it was just like it was like it was
Yeah.
just that type of environment. It was funny. It was good times though. It was good
Yeah.
times. We had rehearsals literally Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if we had a show, we would probably have a full week rehearsal.
Wow. What would be the most memorable story connected to your time at your first studio, like living room space?
Okay.
What would be like the brightest that you remember?
The brightest I remember is learning African dance with her. Yeah, it's because she, a lot of the moves she learned were like West African dance, but like old school West African dance, not like modernized, like Afrobeat stuff that you see. So it would like really be athletic moves. Like, so at that time, we had a rehearsal. It was basically like the boys versus the girls who could get the choreography quickest. And like the girls had more training than we did because they started with her at a younger age. So we was like, I started with her like 16, me and a couple guys 16, 15. So we was like, but we got it, but it was intense. And it was so intense, like my sweats like ripped. It was so, and like I could wring my shirt.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I could wring my shirt. So I was walking home like this. And God, it was the summertime, but yeah, I was walking like this.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Would you say that the skills that you learned, even if you don't use them now, they came in handy in some way during your career?
Yes, very much so. Like I'm the type of person, like just the other day I was rehearsing with my partner. I'm the type of person, if we have like a scene together and we have like a section, I'll go section by section in terms of memorization. Like I'll do at least like 6 times. I like even numbers. And to people like, oh, that's tedious. I'm like, listen, when I was with my mentor, we had songs where we had to sing one line over and over, like at least 20 times.
Yeah.
So it was.
I get that. You know what's funny? So like, I come from Ukraine. No secret that some like, you know, if like a little bit of sprinkle of post-Soviet Union was there when I was growing up. Not a little bit, like a lot of sprinkle. And like, you know, one time my teacher, whom I still adore and love, threw a chair at me because I was like, it was a couple more people, but I was one of them. And because we were talking, of course he didn't hit us. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, and I actually love when to be pushed.
Yeah.
But there's like, I feel like the culture changes and everything changes, and there's so many people that if you push them, they like too much. Don't
Yeah.
like, you have to
Yeah.
be gentle with me.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's this divide, which is fine. Everybody is different. There's this divide when with some people you have to be gentle, but some people need to be pushed, and they respond to this better.
I love that you mentioned that because I feel like you have to figure out the type of student you have.
Yeah.
You know, some people, and I've seen this with people like I work with creatively, like some people, I could uplift them, but if their ego's too big, they probably won't do anything.
Yeah.
Some people, if I hurt their ego, they're more likely inclined to do something just to prove me wrong.
Yeah.
And I've seen that, and it's like, I don't know what it is, some people just motivate differently.
That's true. It's like, it's also, to be a teacher is an art form
Oh, yeah.
of itself. I feel to be to be a teacher, a lot of people can be, but to be a good teacher, that's difficult, and
Yeah,
I
it's
have
very
so much
difficult.
respect
Yeah.
for those people who are with you and stay in your heart and bring you knowledge and change you.
Yeah.
Those are the people you have to cherish and like definitely not take for granted.
Yeah.
100%.
To add on to what you're saying, my survival job, my longest survival job, was working at an after-school program for 7 years
That's insane.
in the South Bronx. So yeah.
Wow, I work in an after-school program now.
really?
I mean, like just a little bit,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's a 92nd and Y. I don't know if
Okay,
you've heard of
okay.
them. It's like Upper East Side.
Upper East Side. Okay, that's not bad.
It's not bad. I like it. I like it a
That's
lot.
not bad.
But damn, do you still work as an after-school teacher?
Nah, right now I just work at a winery/liquor store. So yeah, it was a
Cool.
good 7 years. It was a good 7 years, but I just learned that I didn't want to be at a job that I was like gave so much years to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
When
yeah.
it's not something you love doing with your whole heart,
Yeah.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, it seems like you're doing quite a lot, acting-wise, career-wise. You are. So would you say, what is the most percentage? How do you find work?
How do I find work? Honestly, I find work either I create it or somebody hit me up. Really, the last audition I did was through my alma mater, William Esper Studio, where I studied Meisner technique. That was for like a teaser film, and then after that, I just been like straightly creating my own stuff, or people I know hit me up to be on their stuff. But yeah.
So do you use Actors Access backstage?
Oh, I use it. I just rarely audition on them, cause I'm like, I still have to conquer the self-tape thing. But I'm so pro creating my own work.
Yeah.
That I'm just like, I'm attracting what's already coming to me, and I'm like, I know how to use social media in a sense to market myself. So,
That's great.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's really cool. Yes.
Yeah, cause one thing about auditioning that I've learned is like, a lot of actors, the reason why like most actors get stuck is because they're stuck on online auditionings. They're not in person, like they're not going to the theater companies in person.
Yeah.
They're not Googling things that they could walk into. You get what I'm saying?
I do, and it's like when you are self-taping for a long time, and then you're like, oh, this one is in person, and you come in, you freeze, and you're like, do I?
You freeze?
Yeah. Yeah.
You freeze, or you feel like you could be stuck in like an endless cycle sometimes. Because there's people.
How come? Like, what do you mean?
There's like people I know. There's somebody right now who just graduated from a school right now.
Yeah.
And they're probably only auditioning Actors Access, backstage. They have all their accounts, but they haven't done an in-person audition. They haven't Googled about mentorships. They haven't like Googled the nearest theater company that has meetings that they can walk into so they can build a resume. All they know is the online approach. And because they live so much on online auditioning, they're like in a box.
Yeah.
And they feel like they're in a box that they're trapped, but they're not aware there's other things that they could do to like, expand their horizon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like with auditions, it's very unpredictable.
Yeah, very unpredictable.
It's whatever you do, I feel like you have to throw yourself everywhere, and like you said, you have to create your own work, which is really important. And maybe you can talk about a little bit, if you don't mind, and if that's okay. You mentioned before that you wrote something and then you're gonna workshop it, and you have been writing it for several months. Can you talk about the process of, from the start to end, like what inspired you to write something, and how was it for you?
Usually the things that inspire me to write is like what I watch or what I go through personally or what I'm aware of. And like from there, like I outline, have character descriptions, basically everything I do with acting, because I even do it with my acting. Like, if I have a character, all right, sometimes the script doesn't give you a background. So I create the background for my character.
Yeah.
Then I create like a point of view of my character of the other characters. And, like just doing that and incorporating that in my writing and everything, and it kind of like folds into place.
That's amazing. And this is gonna be a full-length play, and after the reading, the workshop of it, are you gonna take it bigger, or you just want to stop it?
After that, I'm definitely going to format it into film.
Ooh.
Yeah, format it into film. It's gonna be my first feature film.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's gonna be my first feature film. After like I switch up certain things to adapt it for film, it's gonna be my first feature.
Congrats.
But, yeah, it's gonna be my first feature. After I raise the money for it, because it's gonna be a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Creating your own shit is not cheap.
It's not cheap at all.
Not cheap.
But crazy thing, it's actually super possible.
Yeah.
But it's super possible if somebody you know or you has the equipment already.
Yeah.
And then they have good equipment, not even the best, but good. then you can create something. Especially it works with short films. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Now the thing is, they got to see the vision that you see. Because I've had that before, where they got to see the long term, but some people didn't see the long term, so things ended up falling apart.
That's true. That's true. That's why you have to find. I don't know. It's difficult to find people who are as dedicated to something that you want to make.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I say this phrase a lot so much. It's because I don't know. It's like when you wrote it, it's your baby.
Yeah.
It's like it's yours. So absolutely, you're gonna want to do it more than anybody else. But then it's just about finding the people who will be like, "That's amazing. I so wanna bring it to life." Yeah.
And the funny thing is with that, a lot of times that can be strangers.
Yeah.
It's gonna be strangers more than your friends.
100%.
That's just the nature of the beast. The nature of the beast. Like, because I used to create skits with my friends. That's how that's why I haven't auditioned so long. Because we used to make skits. We was going on for like at least a good 3 years.
Wow.
Then after that, it died down. My cameraman said he was going to the army, but the man has never worked out in his life, so that obviously was a lie. And then my other one was controlling.
Yeah.
My other friend was controlling, and we're to a point where, so basically this is how we roll. Let's say you wrote something, right?
Yeah.
And you presented it and you want it to be shot. We read it, we give you feedback, you hear the feedback, you rewrite, and then we all plan on how we're gonna shoot it.
Okay.
Let's say you wanna be the director. You don't wanna be the actor or anything.
Okay.
So, all right, cool. I'm gonna set up the casting because I know how to set up the casting on Actors Access.
Yeah.
So I set up the casting and everything. Now, you assign the roles because you wrote it. Now, let's say you make me the lead and you're the director, but I have secret animosity towards you. And it rubs across in the process of creating the film. That's basically what happened with me and the other friend. Even though we was building a boat together, he was tearing it apart, which is weird. So.
Absolutely. And I feel like it's actually for everybody to know how we met. It was at the networking
event. Yeah, networking. Yeah.
Which is, once again, how important networking is.
Very important.
Very. It's, just like to bring this there, that to connect to the strangers part, how it's sometimes the strangers, you can meet them at an event anywhere, and you're like, damn, we see the same thing, let's work together, which is so magical to me. Can I just ask you, I'm a negative person.
Yeah.
You know, I can be. Okay, I can be. I'm not fully. So that's why I want to ask if, just to add more to the whole conversation, has anything ever happened to you in the industry yet where you felt discriminated or judged, that you want to voice for others not to step into it, or for example, for others to be aware of it? Maybe is there something that you could share, would be willing to?
Yeah, I'm willing to share. So I'm from the Bronx. Obviously, for most people who know, the Bronx is not the easiest place to live. So because of the fact that I had exposure to the arts, I'm a versatile person. Yeah. But I'm also from the Bronx, so I just have sometimes people judge me by the way I carry myself until they have a conversation with me. Then that's a whole different story. And there was a situation where I was working with a director, and this is why there's good feedback and bad feedback. And once you learn how to distinguish between the two, you understand, okay, I'm not gonna work with this person. I professionally, because they have this stigma towards my skin tone or this perception. So long story short, long story long. It was basically this series where they were the director and somebody was writing something based on a prompt, something similar to 7/7. Okay. And it was me, and it was like 3 other white actresses, right? The white director, she knew me very well, but me working with her personally, I got to see certain things. Like, for instance, let's say we had rehearsals early in the morning. She would give me the key to open because I would be with everybody. And as soon as I got the key, I would give the key back.
Okay.
Because I didn't want any misunderstandings or anything. There's a situation where one time she walked up to me like, Sadi, where's my key? You know, like I still had the key, but I gave the key back.
Okay.
And then there was moments where she would like undermine my talent, and she wasn't really giving notes to my other scene partner, and they were having like a one-man show, and my other scene partner also tried to give me notes, and yeah, in the professional biz, that's taboo, and she didn't stop all that. And like the writer, the person who wrote the scene, she saw that, and she was frozen. You know, behind closed doors, she'd be like, "Oh, I see how she's treating you. It's unfair. I can see the passive aggressive prejudiceness." And I'm like, okay, cool. At that time, I didn't really know who to go to. It was my first time dealing with somebody in position of directing to like kind of undermine my talent from a negative perception. And like, you know, at a point, like it was like very easy for you to feel low and insecure about your talent. But luckily, I had another program that I'll go to. This was a black program, and it's run by Jamie Hector, who was an actor on The Wire. And I would ask him advice, like how do I deal with a situation like that?
Yeah.
Like how do I deal with like a person of power who's kind of like technically racist to me? And he basically told me like jot it down on paper. Anytime any little incident that made you uncomfortable or you feel like it was deliberate, jot it down on paper, the time and everything. And his manager also gave me advice too. She was like, oh, if you have somebody there to confront the person about it, so you have somebody as backup to enforce it. But Jamie also gave another grateful advice that some people could witness things, but too afraid to stand up for other people.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was definitely a learning experience for me. And so I learned to be skeptical and not take what every director says to heart. You know, that's my advice to all actors. Don't take everything a director says to heart, because of the simple fact everything's perception. You know, some people love Al Pacino. Some people don't like Al Pacino.
True.
Al Pacino's still a great actor.
Yeah.
Some people don't like Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro's still a great actor.
True. But still you have to treat everybody as a human being, regardless of where they come from.
Exactly.
I say it. I feel like I say it every episode.
Yeah.
Treat everybody equally, regardless of where they come from, their skin color, I mean, the race, the nationality, anything, weight, looks. Weight and looks the same. I'm not a native English speaker, forgive me. But no discrimination ever. Everybody here to live this is here to live this life, so let them and respect them, and you will be respected. And that is it.
Yeah, and that situation, like, it was kind of tricky for me because if I were to stand up, I didn't want to be labeled the angry black man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it would be very easy for that to be labeled across me, very easy. So I was, so I'm grateful that I had like a mentor on the side another mentor on the side that I could hit up and ask advice on. So yeah.
Society sucks, but I'm glad that you took something good out of this experience overall, and I'm sorry that it did happen to you. I really am. I don't think it's fair, and I don't think it's okay. But, you know, unfortunately, we will always, I feel like, meet people who will be.
The thing is, it's the older generation. As you know, once they weed out the way, we'll take over and make something new.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I really hope so. Yeah. That would be amazing. Yeah. That would be amazing. Like, for us to finish up, is there anything that you want to share that's coming up?
Okay.
Or, I don't know, anything like your socials, everything will be on our social media.
Yeah. Right now I got 2 films in post-production.
Oh, I did not know that.
Looking forward to bringing them out. One film I co-wrote, and executive produced. The other film I wrote and I just directed, so be on the lookout for Brothers Who Pray and In God's Hands, coming to a film festival near you. Yeah.
That's so cool. You're submitting festivals.
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love it. And thank you so much for opening up and sharing the stories and how you were led into acting, and you know, the pinpoints of some of your journey. And I cannot wait to hear. I really hope that I'm not working this week and I can make your reading, because that would be, I would love to hear it. And Caitlin says hi. This is Caitlin. Let's imagine Caitlin. I'm gonna draw her here. Caitlin. Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin, if you're watching. When you watch.
When she has to.
When you watch.
She will be. Caitlin, I miss you. I'm scared.
She's doing a great job. She's doing a great job. You're doing a great job.
You.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we are really grateful that you were here and you came and shared your story, and thank you so much. And I'm just for a second I saw myself on the screen and I'm like, whoo, the hair looks horrific. But yeah, and thank you so much, and we cannot wait to share your story with everybody else.
Yes. Looking forward to it. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming so much. Thank you. Bye.
See everyone.